last one? Detrone did this.
I like that one.
Okay.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Detrone Does It. Of course, I am Detrone, and I does stuff. And this week, I'm letting you guys into my personal life just a little bit. I'm going to be sharing some of my absolute favorite podcasts. This is a big thing for me because I am an avid listener of audio. My Spotify numbers are like off the charts. I am constantly listening to music, but also I've incorporated a lot of podcasts into my daily activities. So my drive into work, my drive home from work, when I'm washing the dishes, if I'm doing a load of laundry, all of this is accompanied by some kind of audio. I actually have some reluctancy in sharing this list because what I listen to will really give you some insight into who I am as a person. And you know, the internet's a wild and crazy place. I don't know how much information y'all need about me. And so I want to share this list with you guys because I'm certain that there's at least one of these shows that you haven't heard that you will enjoy. As always, let me know down in the comments if you guys have some favorite podcasts so I can check them out. So I'd love to hear what you guys tune into when you are going about your day. I didn't put them in any particular order of importance. I'm just going to share with you guys. Cool. All right, so the first show on the list is one that I listen to on a daily basis, and it's called Marketplace. It's hosted by Kai Ryssdal, and it's basically a recap of economic stories of the day and how those economic stories impact people. I like listening to this particular podcast because Kai does a great job of helping me understand like a big picture economic concept and then turning it into something that applies to my everyday, like how war can impact the price of gas or how inflation can impact wages. There's a bunch of financial terminology that gets used on the show, but again, Kai as the host does a great job of sort of making it digestible for individuals who may not be well versed with finance talk, which I'm clearly not, but I just want to be in tune with what's happening with the economy on a large scale. This show does all of that, and it does it in like 25 minutes. The show releases new episodes Monday through Friday, and it's in the evening, like 6:30. Kai and his team focus on making the business and economic news of the day easily digestible, and I think that is my favorite part about the Marketplace update. I absolutely love the show. If you don't know anything about finance or you love everything about finance, you can't go wrong with the Marketplace update with Kai Ryssdal. You can find it, of course, on Spotify. All right, so I'm going to share with you guys. I'm a bit of a crime junkie, so a lot of the shows that I listen to have an element of crime solving or some kind of disappearance or a deeper look into the criminal mindset. Why? I don't know. I just find it interesting. But the next show does a great job of giving me some crime and mystery, but it also does a little bit of historical perspective. And that show is Today in True Crime. Today in True Crime is a show that is a part of the Parcast network. They have a bunch of stuff that they put together, but I like this show in particular because it's short episodes and they give you a new one every single day. Each day, they tell you about a crime from that day in history. So it could be from a couple of years ago. It could be from 100 years ago. They do a really good job of getting the details together so that you have enough information to follow along in the story, but they make it brief and compact enough that you get all of this excitement in usually less than 15 minutes. As a matter of fact, it's usually less than 10 minutes. These stories are ones that you may or may not have heard of. All right, look, so I don't know anything about actual pirates or kings from the 1800s, but this show does a good job of giving me backstories. And from that point, I'm able to sort of get invested in the story of what he did, how he met his fate, you know, and all of the history that goes along with it. The show Today in True Crime is definitely one that I listen to on a regular basis. And again, if you're a crime junkie or if you like historical events, usually centering around crime, then this would be one to go to for sure. Another podcast that's updated daily is a show called Today Explained. It's hosted by, I'm sorry if I butcher your name, Sean Rameswaram and Noel King, who just joined the show. They discuss a wide range of topics. Sometimes it's about cryptocurrencies, war, the migrant crisis. Sometimes it's about getting rid of the SATs. It really is just a hodgepodge of different topics, but really good reporting to come along with those topics. And the host, Sean, he's got a weird sense of humor, but I like it. He's kind of dry, but he gets the point across. Noelle just came on. She sounds really passionate when she's going through the episode. I really like the show. Again, it's not going to be for everybody, but it does a really good job of explaining a wide variety of topics each day. So Today Explained is one that I would definitely check out if you never heard of it. And again, give it 1 or 2 episodes before you make up your mind on it. If you're one of those individuals who just have a lot of questions, then I've got a good show for you. It's called Science Versus. That's Science VS. And it's hosted by Wendy Zuckerman. And I say it like that because she says it like that. The show is really cool because it explores stuff that I would honestly never search on Google. They explore topics like, is fat bad? Killer asteroids? Is working from home really burning us out? The 4-day work week, and why everybody's rushing to get to the moon. So there's a lot of content that goes on in these shows. They actually have some smaller snippets that you can explore on Spotify, but then they also have the full-length episodes. This show does a really good job of pairing itself with legitimate scientists and answering questions that you didn't know that you wanted the answer to. So check out Science Versus on Spotify if you are just really into random information. All right, so this next podcast is one that hasn't come back. They have like 8 or 9 episodes, but the reporting on these episodes extremely thorough. And that show is Louder Than a Riot. This show is awesome if you love hip hop music, which, I mean, clearly I do. This show is hosted by Rodney Carmichael and Sydney Madden, and they really get in depth. And it feels like when you're listening to them that you're almost talking to a friend. The conversation seems close and intimate. They do a great job of painting the details so that when you hear it, you feel like you're there with them. And they explore stories that aren't necessarily mainstream. They did a multi-part episode on Mac Phillips, if you haven't heard of him. They did an episode on Nipsey Hussle. They also have an episode called The Day the Mixtape Died, and it's a focus on DJ Drama. So there's a lot that goes on in these podcasts. They are longer episodes. Again, a lot of information. Several of them are multi-part. And although it's not something that refreshes every day, I don't even know if they're going to bring the show back. I hope they do, fingers crossed. But if they don't, the episodes that they created will definitely hold up over time. So if you haven't had a chance, go and check out Louder Than a Riot. If you are into sports, then you definitely have to check out the podcast The Lead, and it's by Wondery. They explore all the things about sports, and each episode is unique. They got episodes on college basketball and new standout stars. They got episodes about how particular players in the NBA have literally changed the game. All of this in very digestible size episodes. Wondery does a great job of partnering with individuals who cover sports on a regular basis, as well as the hosts who clearly do a lot of research into these topics. I think the show The Lead is one to tune into if you are avid sports listener or if you just care about sports a little bit. Because again, they have some fringe sports topics that don't need you to be an expert about the MLB to enjoy it. So check out The Lead. It's a podcast by Wondery, and of course, all of these are available on Spotify. What's Next is a show that is from Slate Entertainment. They do daily news and give you some analysis of how these stories impact you, how they're impacting others across the world. And so, of course, they're going to cover things like war, refugees, how the fight for schools are really changing how communities are made up. Because this show is updated daily, it really gives you new and fresh opinions about what's happening in the world. There's a lot of division out there, unfortunately, but this show does a pretty good job of covering both sides of the aisle. They also provide some insight from the team that puts the show together about how they feel about the stories that are happening. So it's not just a blanket discussion of what's happening in today's news. It is also giving some opinion about it as well. So I think you guys should check out the What's Next podcast from Slate. So those are a few of the podcasts that I listen to on a fairly regular basis. If you haven't already heard of these shows, definitely go give them a listen. Again, don't judge them off the first 30 seconds. Try to give them an episode or two before you make up your mind on whether or not you can add this into your rotation. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, definitely go down in the comments and let me know what you're listening to nowadays. I would love to hear it. As always, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button, get some alerts. Find out when we're dropping new videos, which is every Monday, usually, but sometime in the middle of the week. And if you decide not to like, share, or subscribe, you know what? I won't even be mad at you. Till next time, guys. Peace.